In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, General Secretary Tô Lâm holds phone call with U.S. President-elect. And later on, state president begins official visit to Chile. In our world news, North Korea approves comprehensive strategic partnership agreement with Russia.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning into 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Lin Lei with the latest updates. Now, on Monday night, General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, Tô Lâm, held a phone call with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump to congratulate him on his election as the 47th President of the United States. The two leaders discussed the positive developments in the Vietnam-U.S. Comprehensive Strategic Partnership and explored ways to deepen bilateral ties in a stable, long-term manner, benefiting both countries and contributing to regional peace. They also addressed future cooperation in key areas such as trade, investment, defense, and security. President Trump expressed his pleasure at the continued dialogue with General Secretary Tô Lâm, reaffirmed the importance of U.S.-Vietnam relations, and shared positive memories from his previous visits to Vietnam. In response, General Secretary Tô Lâm invited President Trump to visit Vietnam, an invitation that was warmly accepted. The president-elect also extended an invitation for General Secretary Tô Lâm to visit the United States at a convenient time. State President Lương Cương has arrived in Santiago, Chile's capital city, to begin his official visit. Upon arrival, he was warmly received by Chilean President Gabriel Boric. The two leaders discussed the current state of bilateral relations and agreed on measures to enhance the Vietnam-Chile comprehensive partnership, aiming for deeper and more effective cooperation. Both leaders praised the establishment of Vietnam's Defense Attaché Office in Chile, a significant step in boosting defense ties. They also outlined plans to strengthen collaboration in areas such as free trade, agriculture, renewable energy, science, education, tourism, and national security. The two sides committed to negotiating and signing key cooperation agreements to improve the legal framework for bilateral exchanges and business collaboration. State President Lương Cương and President Boric also agreed to review and update their relationship framework to open up broader opportunities for cooperation in the future. On Tuesday morning, as part of the 8th session of the National Assembly, a Q&A session was held focusing on issues in the information and communication sector. Let's take a look.
In recent years, the rapid development of social media has led to the spread of fake news and misinformation, causing confusion and public outrage. What are the measures the ministry is taking to manage social media?
In a new decree signed less than a week ago, the issue of dealing with social media platforms violating Vietnamese law was raised. These platforms must take responsibility for scanning, detecting, and automatically removing false information and harmful content.
Voters would like the minister to clarify further so that they can understand what the key solutions are to definitively resolve this issue.
In the past, platforms would only act after receiving reports, but now the government requires them to develop digital tools to scan and remove harmful content on their own. In the past, they only deleted the violating content, but the account could remain active. Now, if there are repeated violations, they are required to remove the account.
Deputies also expressed concern about personal information leakage.
Currently, online advertising often relies on user data, which sometimes violates privacy and personal data protection rights. Do you have any solutions to effectively prevent that issue?
It is essential to have a secure system to protect that data from attacks. Additionally, there must be internal regulations to ensure that those accessing the system do not sell the data to others. There is a decree on personal data protection, along with the law on cybersecurity and the law on network information security, and soon we will upgrade the decree on personal data protection to a law on personal data protection and submit it to the National Assembly.
Vietnam's seafood exports have reached a major milestone, surpassing $1 billion in October, a nearly 30% increase compared to the same period last year. The surge is a positive sign for the country's seafood industry as it enters the final quarter of the year. According to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, VASEP, exports to key markets such as China and Hong Kong, China saw a 37% spike, while the United States, Japan, and the European Union also reported significant growth of 31%, 22%, and 27% respectively. Shrimp and trout fish, in particular, are expected to see further growth. By the end of October, shrimp exports had reached over $3.2 billion, a 13% rise, while trout fish exports totaled nearly $1.7 billion, up 10%. The growth in these exports is poised to drive Vietnam's seafood industry forward, further solidifying its position in global markets. In October, the U.S. Department of Commerce announced preliminary countervailing duties on shrimp imports from Ecuador, India, and Vietnam. The tax rate for Vietnamese shrimp was significantly lower than those of India and Ecuador. This gives Vietnamese shrimp a crucial competitive edge in the U.S. market. As a result, Vietnamese shrimp exporters are more confident about reaching this year's $10 billion export target, higher than the initial goal set at the beginning of the year of $9.5 billion.
Diversifying products and expanding into new markets. These are two strategies businesses believe will help them achieve a 10% growth in exports this year.
We actively participate in international trade fairs and develop various value-added products. These have already been exported to markets such as France, the Middle East, and others.
Favorable market conditions have been one of the key drivers of growth in Vietnam's seafood industry. The markets of China and the U.S. have played a crucial role in bringing Vietnam's seafood exports back on a growth trajectory, with both seeing an increase of over 30% in the past month.
Consumers in international markets are increasing their spending, particularly as the year draws to a close. There's a growing demand in preparation for the new season and year-end festivities. This had led to a notable uptick in orders, providing us with stable order volume going forward.
With demand surging in key markets, businesses in the industry are highly confident about their ability to achieve the $10 billion target, especially as the year-end peak season approaches.
If in the next 2 months we achieve about $1.8 billion per month, we will have reached the $10 billion target. With this plan, seafood exports will exceed the 2024 target.
The seafood industry needs to continue efforts to improve quality and diversify markets. This will enhance businesses' competitiveness in traditional markets and help them seize opportunities in emerging markets such as South America and the Middle East, among others.
A survey conducted by research firm Kantar revealed that 88% of Southeast Asian consumers base their purchasing decisions on AI-generated content and product recommendations. This highlights the growing application of AI in e-commerce. This technology has become a powerful tool, helping businesses boost consumer demand during the year-end peak shopping season.
Using AI-generated virtual models to try on products and filter and summarize reviews from previous buyers are the latest applications of generative AI in Vietnam's e-commerce industry. According to some sellers, AI can reduce operational costs by up to half in certain processes.
AI has the ability to do many things, not just image editing. It can help create plans, optimize product content, and even assist in developing pricing strategies for the year-end.
Kantar's survey of 6,000 people in Southeast Asia found that 88% said they make purchasing decisions based on content and product recommendations generated by AI. Lazada recently launched a set of generative AI features to personalize the user experience. thereby boosting consumer demand.
AI is a crucial factor for driving growth as it helps customers save time by recommending products that suit their needs. In terms of operations, we also apply AI to increase the number of orders processed daily at sorting centers, ensuring that orders reach customers more quickly.
Over 30 billion USD was committed to AI infrastructure investments in Southeast Asia during the first half of this year. Observers note that investors will continue to prioritize markets with significant potential, such as Vietnam.
We think innovation and technology continues despite macro conditions in the market. And so we're very, very bullish about the adoption of, as well as the region, and the advancements of AI, how AI will unlock value never seen before.
However, effectively applying AI remains a challenging task. On average, an AI project requires about 5 years to deliver concrete results, demanding significant investments in both technology and human resources.
Before we move on, let's have a look at the exchange rate between the Vietnam dong and some world currencies in today's market. Coming up next on VTV News, Hoa Binh conserves and promotes value of archaeological sites. And Hanoi exhibition features President Ho Chi Minh's footprints in China. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Now on to other important updates. Vietnam's central and highland regions are bracing for heavy rainfall as a tropical depression, weakened by Typhoon Yinxing, continues to dissipate, causing intense storms in the region. Weather forecasts indicate that Thừa Thiên Huế, Phú Yên, and the central highlands could experience rainfall exceeding 150 millimeters over the next 24 hours, with risks of localized flooding, flash floods, and landslides in mountainous areas. Meanwhile, Typhoon Toraji, located in the eastern part of the Northeast Sea, is currently intensifying with wind speeds of up to 102 kilometers per hour and gusts reaching level 12. The typhoon is expected to move northwest over the next 1 to 2 days and gradually weaken as it moves into cooler waters near Hainan Island, China. In response to the approaching typhoon, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has issued an emergency directive to coastal provinces from Quảng Ninh to Bình Định, urging authorities to closely monitor fishing vessels, implement evacuation plans, and prepare rescue operations. Lac Sơn District, an ancient area formerly known as Mueang Vang, is one of the 4 major Mueang regions in Hoa Binh Province. It is home to 2 nationally recognized archaeological sites that represent the prehistoric Hoa Binh culture, the stone roof of Vang Village and Som Chai Cave. Recognizing their significance, the province has made the protection and preservation of these historical sites a priority.
Bùi Văn Khoen has been preserving his hometown's cultural heritage since childhood, alongside the local community. Recently, his sense of joy and pride grew even more when the stone roof site was recognized as a special national heritage site.
We remind each other to clean and protect these ancient sites so they can be preserved and passed down to future generations.
Som Chai Cave, discovered in 1975 and dating back 21,000 years, was designated as a National Archaeological Site in 2001. Known for its rich stone cool collection, it represents Hoa Binh's culture. The stone roof site, discovered by M. Kalani in 1929, became a national site in 2004. Together, these sites are key symbols of Hoa Binh culture in Vietnam and Southeast Asia.
In planning efforts, historical value must be respected. When promoting, preserving, and enhancing these sites, it's essential to honor their core values and adapt them to meet current needs.
Recently, the Hoa Binh Provincial Museum has organized programs to promote the value of heritage sites, especially by bringing archaeological sites and artifacts to the public, with a focus on the younger generation. We hope they will help protect these heritage sites and contribute to local economic development.
The preservation and promotion of the Hmong ethnic group's cultural values and the Hoa Binh culture will help elevate Som Chai Cave and the stone roof of Vang Village to become national heritage sites of significant importance.
On Monday night, the Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism of Sóc Trăng Province, in collaboration with the Vietnamese record organization Viet Kings, organized the largest ever performance of a Khmer five-tone musical ensemble in Vietnam. The event, part of the 6th Ok Om Bok Festival in the Mekong Delta region, marked a significant cultural milestone. The traditional music form, a hallmark of the Khmer community, involves 5 unique musical instruments made from different materials. The performance featured 200 artisans, musicians, and performers who played 20 sets of instruments across 5 different acts to establish the record. This celebration not only showcased the Khmer people's rich cultural heritage, but also reinforced Sóc Trăng Province's commitment to preserving and promoting this unique art form for future generations. Throughout his revolutionary life, President Ho Chi Minh visited China numerous times, living there for extended periods, forging lasting friendships and developing deep emotional ties. On November the 11th, the Ho Chi Minh Museum, in collaboration with the Central Party Archives Bureau, organized the exhibition Ho Chi Minh's Footprints in China. This event marks the continental of Nguyễn Ái Quốc, Ho Chi Minh's first steps in China during his quest to find a way to save his nation.
A portrait of President Ho Chi Minh, taken by Chinese photographer Lục Văn Tuấn during his visit to Guangdong in May 1964, remains a special image still used in many publications in Vietnam. These are 2 of over 200 valuable documents and artifacts on display, showcasing the lasting marks of President Ho Chi Minh in China.
We aim to present these documents and artifacts through this special exhibition, focusing on those related to President Ho Chi Minh's activities in various regions and provinces across China. This will highlight his revolutionary journey in China, contributing to strengthening the friendship between China and Vietnam.
There are many special and fascinating memorabilia here, and I believe young people should come to explore and learn, as each artifact tells a historical story about President Ho Chi Minh's journey to save the nation while in China. President Ho Chi Minh spent a total of 12 years living and working in China. Today, about 70 sites there bear his mark. These locations are preserved and their historical value is promoted by the leadership of the party, the state, local authorities, and the people of China.
I had the privilege of accompanying Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh on his recent official visit to Kunming and Chongqing, China, last week. During the trip, we visited several historical sites where President Ho Chi Minh had carried out revolutionary activities, and I was deeply moved.
The historical stories and evidence, along with President Ho Chi Minh's activities in China, have become bridges of friendship and vibrant symbols of the Vietnam-China relationship.
The 7th Hanoi International Film Festival concluded on Monday night with a ceremony attended by Deputy Prime Minister Lê Thành Long. This year's festival, under the theme Cinema, Creativity, Soaring, honored outstanding films and performances from around the world. The Best Feature Film award went to Hard Shell from Iran, while the Best Short Film was awarded to Colombia's A Bird Flew. Vietnamese actress Ngọc Xuân received recognition as a promising young talent for her role in the Vietnamese film Once Upon a Time in a Story. The festival serves not only as a platform for international film exchange and cooperation, but also as a vital opportunity to promote Hanoi and Vietnam to a global audience, showcasing the country's growing influence in the world of cinema. Cần Thơ City has recently introduced a new tourist experience, exploring its rivers and cityscape at night. This initiative showcases the unique beauty of the Mekong Delta, with a particular emphasis on Cần Thơ itself. By diversifying its range of tourism offerings, the city aims to attract more visitors to this vibrant region.
As night falls, visitors begin their journey to explore the Cần Thơ River. In the cool evening air, tourists can savor traditional southern cuisine, admire the Cái Răng floating market, and take in the sight of Trần Hoàng Na Bridge, a new landmark of Cần Thơ City.
As I cross the bridge behind me, the lights change smoothly and constantly, creating some truly beautiful scenes.
I find the rhythm of life here very calm and unhurried. As I cross the bridge behind me, the lights change smoothly and constantly, creating some truly beautiful scenes.
This Cần Thơ River cruise is a part of an effort to revitalize the tourism experience in Cần Thơ City. The entire journey allows visitors to explore the simple beauty of the scenery along both sides of the river.
This is one of the tours we believe will attract visitors to Cần Thơ, as they will have the opportunity to experience the unique charm of the river life in Cần Thơ City, which is truly fascinating.
In 2024, the tourism sector of Cần Thơ City aims to welcome 6.1 million visitors and generate total revenue of nearly $240,000.
Coming up next in our world news, North Korea approves comprehensive strategic partnership agreement with Russia. And later on, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump appoints key positions. Now moving on to our world news, the Korean Central News Agency KCNA reported today that North Korea has approved the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Agreement between the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and the Russian Federation, making it an official decree of the leader of North Korea on Monday. According to KCNA, the agreement was signed by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Pyongyang on June the 19th, 2024. The agreement will come into effect once both parties exchange ratification documents. KCNA emphasized that the treaty includes a provision for mutual military support in the event of an attack on either party. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has selected key figures for his new cabinet. Mike Waltz, a Florida congressman and former member of the National Guard, has been chosen as National Security Advisor. Waltz, known for his hardline stance on China in the Asia-Pacific region, believes the U.S. must be prepared to defend its interests in the area. Trump has also appointed Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, marking the first time a Latino politician has held the highest diplomatic position in the U.S. Rubio is seen as having one of the toughest foreign policy positions, particularly toward America's geopolitical rivals. Additionally, Trump has selected Tom Homan to oversee the U.S. borders and immigration in his upcoming administration. Homan will be responsible for enforcing the expulsion of all undocumented immigrants. Iran and Russia have officially linked their banking networks, allowing Iranian bank cards to be used in Russia's ATM network. With this connection, Iranian visitors can withdraw rubles from Russian ATMs. The second phase of the project is expected to roll out by the end of this year, enabling Russian visitors to access Iranian ATMs. The third and final phase will allow Iranian visitors to make purchases in Russia using their Shatab-linked cards. This integration of the two countries' national payment systems helps remove barriers to electronic payments and paves the way for a new era of economic cooperation. Countries at the two-week COP29 climate summit gave the go-ahead on Monday to carbon credit quality standards, which are critical to launching a UN-backed global carbon market that would fund projects that reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The green light came as an early deal on the opening day of the UN conference in Baku, Azerbaijan.
The deal on Article 6.4 of the Paris Agreement could pave the way for a UN-backed global carbon market, years in the making, to launch as early as next year. Carbon credits allow countries or companies to fund projects anywhere on the planet that reduce CO2 emissions or remove them from the atmosphere, as well as use credits generated by those projects to offset their own emissions.
On Article 6.4. We want to reassure you that the proposed decision on the annual reports of the supervisory body and the Article 6.4 standards would not conclude our work on Article 6.4 at this section. This decision will in no way prevent parties from providing further guidance to the supervisory body at the CMA. Furthermore, let me confirm that discussions on Article 6.2 will continue to address the mandates provided by CMA Dirt 4, including work to develop recommendations for consideration and adoption at CMA Dirt 6.
Examples of projects could include cultivating CO2, absorbing mangroves, or distributing clean stoves to replace polluting cooking methods in poor rural communities. The standards approved in Baku aim to address concerns that many projects fail to deliver their claimed climate benefits. However, campaigners argued that these standards fell short in several areas, including protecting the human rights of communities affected by such projects.
Up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast for Vietnam and other locations in the world. And that is all that we have for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website, our YouTube channel, or download our mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.